can you solve this algebra challenge? Here's the question. Given this equation x squared minus 7x minus 1 equals 0, then our goal in this question is to find the numerical value of this expression a raised to the power of 21 plus b raised to the power of 21 plus a raised to the power of 17 plus b raised to the power of 17 all over a raised to the power of 19 plus b raised to the power of 19, wherein a and b are the roots of this equation. Pause this video right now and see if you can answer this question, because I will show you the answer and the solution in 3, 2, 1. And the answer to this question is simply equal to 51. Now, of course, the question is, how do we get the answer of 51? Now, here are some possible solutions to this kind of question. We have a lot of possible methods, and one of this is by using the Vieta's relation. So using the Vieta's relation, we can definitely solve for the value of a raised to the power of 21 plus b raised to the power of 21, and all of this expression, a raised to the power of 17 plus b raised to the power of 17, and a raised to the power of 19 plus b raised to the power of 19, because we know the sum of the roots equals positive 7, and the product of the roots equals negative 1. So using the Vieta's formula. But also, notice that we can also use what we call the Newton sum in this kind of question. Yes, definitely you get the answer using this Newton sum. But in this video, I will use a clever method, and that method is algebraic manipulation. Now let me show you the third method. So to answer this kind of question, what we're going to do is to get the expression that we want to evaluate. And now what we're going to do is to switch the position or rearrange some terms a little bit. Now take note, this 21 is just 17 plus 4. So we can rewrite a raised to the power of 21 as a raised to the power of 17 plus 4, like this. And also this b raised to the power of 17 plus 4. This is the same thing as b raised to the power of 21. Now, a raised to the power of 17 plus 4 can be written as a raised to the power of 17 times a raised to the power of 4 using some laws of exponent. And we will do the same thing to this b raised to the power of 17 plus 4. So we can rewrite this as b raised to the power of 17 times b raised to the power of 4. Now, focus on these two terms. What we're going to do is to factor out a raised to the power of 17. So we have a raised to the power of 17 multiplied by a raised to the fourth power plus 1. And of course, we will do the same thing on these two terms. So let's factor out b raised to the power of 17. Now, this is the equivalent of the expression that we want to evaluate. So let's set aside this result. Now from here, let's get the given equation x squared minus 7x minus 1 equals 0. And take note, a and b are the roots of this equation. So on the left side, let's replace all x with a, and on the right side, let's replace all x with b, like this. And then what we're going to do is to add 7a on both sides and add 7b on both sides, like this. And now, what we're going to do is to square both sides on the left and the right side. So we get a raised to the fourth power minus 2a squared plus 1 equals 49a squared. On the other side, we have b raised to the fourth power minus 2b squared plus 1 equals 49b squared. Now, combining like terms, take note that we can combine negative 2a squared and 49a squared. And on the other side, we have negative 2b squared and 49b squared. And if we do that, we get a raised to the fourth power plus 1 equals 51a squared, and b raised to the fourth power plus 1 equals 51b squared. And we need these two results. Now, let's get the expression that we want to evaluate, because now we have the value for a raised to the fourth power plus 1. This is just 51a squared. And also, we have the value for b raised to the 4th power plus 1. This is 51b squared. Now, multiply a raised to the power of 17 times 51a squared. This will give us 51 times a raised to the power of 19, or 17 plus 2. On the other side, b raised to the power of 17 multiplied by 51b squared. This will give us 51 times b raised to the power of 19. Now, we can factor out 51 on the numerator. And if we do that, we get 51 multiplied by a raised to the power of 19 plus b raised to the power of 19. And take note, this is the same thing as the denominator. So, they cancel out. This is just 1. In short, the expression that we want to evaluate simply equal to 51. And that is our answer to this question. Therefore, given that x squared minus 7x minus 1 equals 0, wherein a and b are the roots of this equation, then the numerical value of this expression right over here simply equal to 51. And as always, we are done.